Statue of Liberty green.
Okay.
Did you know that she wasn't always that?
Girls, let us discuss the type of...
The natural
I explained you about physical weathering and chemical weathering. Again, I will repeat. Physical weathering has abrasion, wedging, frost wedging, then plant actions, or animals actions, and by plants. Whereas chemical weathering, they're oxidation and acid precipitation. These things at least you must know for this lesson, girls. Again, physical weathering and chemical weathering. Physical weathering has frost wedging, abrasion.
Can you think of some ways that rocks?
Ice wedging, that is frost wedging, abrasion, exfoliation, plant growth, animal action. Whereas chemical weathering has oxidation and acid precipitation.
What type of weathering do you think
Even if you don't remember dissolving, it's okay. You need to know oxidation and you need to know oxidation and acid precipitation. So that we just...
Chemical weathering can make caves.
How it makes caves.
Match each agent of weathering.
And we did this. You all matched oxidation, abrasion, ice wedging, animal actions, plant actions, acid precipitation.
How do you think this same?
We did this, and then finally you have... Once again, see to it, and then I will start with my new lesson, okay?
Well done. You've just completed the lesson on weathering. Let's look back on what you've learned. Just like with the Statue of Liberty, weathering can break down rock. Physical and chemical weathering are the two types of weathering. The different types of physical weathering, ice wedging, abrasion, exfoliation, plant action, and animal burrowing, do not change the rock. Physical weathering breaks down rocks mechanically. Acid precipitation, dissolving, and oxidation are all types of chemical weathering. Now that you've finished, if you wish...
Now, girls, one by one, please let me know. Miral, shall I start with you or let me start with Noor? Noor, tell me the types of weathering.
Abrasion.
Abrasion.
Ice wedging.
Ice wedging, that is coming under physical weathering. There are two types, physical and chemical. You were telling me about physical, yes? Ice wedging,
abrasion, and...
How about plants?
The plant roots.
And? Animal action. Exfoliation. Repeat, Noor, please repeat.
Animal action, abrasion, exfoliation,
plant growth, ice wedging. How about chemical weathering?
Oxidation.
Very good. Acid rain, acid precipitation, and dissolving. Next, Judy, repeat. There are types.
Physical weathering and chemical weathering. And physical weathering is ice
wedging,
and
animal actions. Ice wedging, animal action,
and abrasion,
yes, plant growth,
plant growth, and
Tell me chemical.
then oxidation
And acid rain. Dana?
and acid.
Dana? Miran?
Yes, miss.
Yes, Dana. Tell me.
What?
Physical and chemical.
Physical.
Is there a problem in your mic? Miran?
Yes.
Can you tell me? Your friends were repeating from so long, so it's now your turn at last. What are types of physical weathering and what are the types of chemical weathering? Miral, tomorrow I'm going to ask you. Open up your book and see it. If you are not listening to my class, open your book and see it, but you have to answer. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Please, from past 5 to 10 minutes, I'm just repeating so that my girls will answer me. I'm helping them. Again, physical and chemical weathering. Please note it down, open your book and see to it and answer me. All right? Here, next. Erosion. This is the new lesson. Lesson number 3, erosion and deposition by water. Even before, I have told you when I speak about weathering, that means breaking up of rocks. Girls, but do they just break and stay there on its place? Or they move by some source?
They move by some.
They move by some source. What is the source they are moving? They are moving by wind. They are moving by what you call as by water. These small rocks or particles or fossils or whatever, they can move by ice glaciers. They have many different ways. So girls, breaking is weathering and taking these rocks to somewhere, moving these rocks by wind or flying or whatever. That is called as erosion. Erosion, okay? It is called as erosion. One minute. Let me share a PPT. Huh. So what is erosion? How does flowing water, especially we are talking about erosion or deposition by water only. I know it's by air, by wind, but we will speak about erosion and deposition of by water. Rivers and streams erode soil, rocks, and sediments. Sediment, what are sediments? Tiny grains of broken down rocks. Girls, you know that by weathering, these rocks are broken down like a big rock. A big rock was broken down into small pieces. This is weathering, right? And these sediments of small rocks, these rocks, when they get small, they are called as sediments. What are they called? Even that very
Sediment.
rocks. These are called as sediments. They are tiny grains of broken down rock. Now, what is erosion? Weathering was breaking. When this break, this word called erosion, by which these sediments and other materials are moved. This is the main word, guys. When I say weathering, you will remember weathering means breaking. When I'm talking erosion, that means moving. moving of these broken rocks, by which sediments and other materials are moved from one place to another. Okay, now I'm just going to erase it and I will ask, yes, Zishan, tell me what is weathering and what is erosion? Just in one word.
Erosion is the process of sediment, grout sediment.
See, broken rocks are sediments. Breaking is weathering. Moving these broken sediments or moving from one place to another. The word moving is erosion. Yes, Noor, will you just tell me quickly?
Yes,
What is erosion?
it's when they move from one place to another.
With the help of wind, water, air, or glaciers. Now, Judy, tell me what is weathering?
It's the breaking of rocks.
Okay. Dana,
Yes.
what is erosion?
Yes, I can't hear you.
What is erosion? Miral?
Erosion is when one thing moves to another.
Moves from one place to another. Very good. Miral, are you there?
Yes.
Yes, my dear. Tell me, what is weathering? What is weathering? If you haven't heard, the last lesson was weathering, and weathering means breaking of rocks. Breaking. And erosion means moving of these broken sediments. I'm sorry, I cannot explain more than this now. How does flowing water change its surface? Material in rivers and streams are eventually dropped or deposited downstreams. Now, Gus, you know that. What happened here? Can you see here deposition written? Can you see on the screen?
Yeah.
Now, see, girls, you have rivers here, okay? You have river. When the river is flowing, what is flowing along with the river or with the waves in the ocean? Those small, like this is the ocean or this is the bed, this is the ground. You know, these, because this water is wearing away these small particles, these particles, they are moving with the water. These particles are with the brown color are the sediments. These are moving with the water. Either they are dropped or deposited. They take away, and then when the pressure is not there, they go and drop somewhere. They go and drop somewhere, layer upon layer, layer upon layer. So this deposition occurs when gravity's downward pull on sediment is greater than the push of flowing water. Again, I say, when there is not much pressure, these sediments are like, imagine, see, these waves are carrying because of some pressure, maybe their water force was high, they're carrying sediments. Now, when the air is not there, these sediments are dropped down. They are deposited down in some form, maybe in some form like a triangle, or maybe they form something else. So this when does this deposition occurs? When the gravity's downward pulls. Of course, something, if you have dropped because of gravity, it will go down and deposit. The push of flowing water or wind. Now here next, A stream's gradient, discharge, and load are the three main factors that control what a sediment stream can carry. A stream's gradient, a stream's pressure, a stream how it flows, that depends upon what sediment stream carry. What is the meaning of gradient? Gradient is the measure of the change in elevation over a certain distance. That's not that easy. Listen to it again. Gradient is the measure of the change in elevation. You know that even the surface of the water, the ground it's not exactly straight because of pressure of water. It's somewhere high, somewhere down. It's somewhere very high, it's come down, and then over that the water is flowing, and then over that the water is flowing. So what is this gradient? Gradient is a factor that we measure, that how much is the elevation over a certain distance. This is called the gradient. Rapid water flow. Girls, what do you think? If the ground is steep like this, the water flow fast, or the ground is straight like this, where do the water flow fast? Where do the water flow faster, girls? Here, A or B? This is A and this is B. Where do the water flow fast? Tell me, where do the water flow fast? In the picture A or picture B?
B.
Why? Why in the A?
I said B.
No, answer A is correct. But why in A? Because it is steep. Because it is steep. Like example, girls, when you are trying to go on the ride, you fall faster here rather than on the ride which is like this. You'll be staying on the same position. But here, because of the slide and the gravity, it pulls you down faster. So that's why rapid water flow over steep gradient gives a stream a lot of energy to carry. And here they carry lot of rock and soil because it can go and fall faster down. Understood the meaning of gradient?
Yes.
Load refers to the material carried by the stream. Of course, girls, if I ask you, what is your load when you go to school? You said, my school bag is my load. Because you're carrying that. Similarly here, the load refers to the materials carried by the stream. The stream, whatever it is carrying, like small rocks or don't go with those plastic material. The rocks, the leaves, the sediments, the fossils. Okay, the size of the particle in a stream load is affected by the stream speed. If the speed of the stream is very high, the particles will go faster. Fast-moving streams can carry large particles and have high erosion rate. Slow-moving stream can carry. Of course, girls, something which is very heavy, it needs a lot of pressure to move. If a very big rock is there and the water pressure is very low, do you think that will move from its place? No way. It will move when the water is moving fast. That's why fast-moving streams can carry large particles and have high erosion rate. Slow-moving streams have smaller particles and have less erosive energy.